Guys, I have like legit one of the worst self-tanner streak marks ever. Like I have to wear t-shirts, it's that bad. Do you guys see this right here? Like that's awful. It's just terrible, and it won't come off as, you know, self-tanners, you know, they should stay on, but not when it's bad. This is what I get for testing out new self-tanners in hopes of finding an even better one. No, I need to stick with Loving Tan and just call it a day. Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys a drugstore haul update. So I did a haul about 2 weeks ago to share with you guys some new products that I had picked up or had been sent as like press samples, and I've been testing them out for the last 2 weeks, and I wanted to share with you guys the good, the bad, and the not so great at all. Some are just downright awful, if I'm gonna be honest with you. If you guys like these kind of videos, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up so I know, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And without further ado, let's get into this. So first I want to talk about a product that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I think they are fantastic quality, and they are the L'Oreal Color Riche lip liners. These things are incredibly soft. They glide onto the lips beautifully, but they stay put and they add to the longevity of the lipsticks. They're just amazing. They are as good, if not better, than a lot of high-end lip liners that I have tried. I think these are phenomenal. If you have a chance to try them out, highly recommend them. And to go along with these, they also did this big launch of their new matte lipsticks. So they did a huge range of them. They sent me this as like a press sample. There are colors that I like and colors that I don't really like, but the formula consistently across the board, I've tried out all of the colors, is really, really good. They're nice and creamy, but they're not too like sticky or goopy on the lips. They're not long wearing. However, if you pair them with these lip liners, it definitely adds to it. So I noticed that it did stay put through a meal, though it did start to fade, but it is something you're going to need to touch up. So I want to share with you guys some of my favorite colors of all the ones that I tried. So first of all is Blake's Red. I love this color. It is just a nice classic red. It just is really, really flattering, and it pairs beautifully with the L'Oreal lip liner in this shade. What shade is this? Infatuated with You. Puns. I also really like the shade Masterpiece, which is a really pretty pale nudie pink color, but surprisingly quite flattering on the skin. I really liked that one. And then the two other ones, Matte Mandate, which is a bright fuchsia pink, of course. I have to always include a fuchsia color. And then Majestic, which is a very deep, plummy, vampy color. I feel like this is going to be one I'm going to be reaching for a lot in the fall. The other colors were nice. There are some that I just didn't really feel really vibed with my skin tone. I wasn't really wowed by them. They weren't really standout colors, so I wanted to pick out the ones that I really felt were really beautiful and I really love and will be continuing to use. But yeah, overall, I love the range. I love the launch. I think it is fantastic quality. Highly recommend. Next up, I want to talk about the Revlon Youth FX line, where they have a bunch of different products. They have a fill and blur primer for the forehead, specifically for the forehead. Put it anywhere else, you die. I'm just kidding. Don't listen to me. And also a fill and blur primer for the face and neck, and then a foundation and a concealer. I have tested this out myself on a number of different occasions for how it wore throughout the day, how it felt on the face, and check-ins and all that stuff. This is really geared towards aging skin, where you have wrinkles, you have fine lines, you don't deal with oily skin, you have a drier skin type. So I think that for those types of skin types, I think this would work really well. If you have oily skin, you are not gonna like this at all. It's gonna feel very heavy. It's gonna break up on the skin. I don't recommend it for summertime because the formula is very thick. It just felt like a lot on my face, and I did not like that at all. But I found that it wore really nicely all day. I felt like my skin looked really good when I was wearing it. It didn't break up that much on my skin. I found like a little bit maybe on the forehead, but not that much. However, I have very like normal or dehydrated skin. I don't have very oily skin when I used to have that. I found that the foundation gave really good high coverage. The concealer I would say is probably more medium coverage, but still really good. In terms of the color selection, it was really odd. I was a 210 sand beige, which I have never been in my life, because everything else that was lighter was really, really yellow or really, really pink, and I just did not like that at all. And the concealer I'm using is light medium because light was, again, way too yellow for my skin tone. So I'd say if you are dealing with aging skin, if you're dealing with wrinkles and you want to cover them up, you have drier skin, you might really like this line. It is on the pricier side though. I just want to warn you, I think everything here is like 20 bucks, which is a lot for the drugstore. But I felt like my skin looked really good when I was wearing it. I just wouldn't recommend it for the summertime. Next up, let's talk about some products from E.L.F. This is their new like Aqua line, I want to say, and I had a couple of products that I had picked up from the drugstore and I've been testing them out. The first product is their rose gold eyeshadow. It's the liquid eyeshadow and it feels very cooling on the eyes. I just didn't really like the effect, to be honest. A lot of you guys in the comments were suggesting when I wear it to kind of put it on and pat it into place. Don't like rub it in, just to keep that sort of metallic finish. And I tried doing that and I just didn't like it personally. I didn't feel like it was blending out well. I found that it was then very patchy, even though I wore like an eye primer underneath. And then I tried it without an eye primer just to see if that was making a difference, and it wasn't. I don't know. I would much prefer finding a metallic eyeshadow, a powder one, and then using like a Fix Plus with it to really enhance that metallic finish versus something like this. Next up is their primer mist, and I really wish that I had read all of your comments before I used this, because oh my goodness, it's like I got hosed in the face with water. It is so ridiculously strong. Like honestly, it's like a garden hose. It is crazy. I do not like the application at all. And even after applying it that way, doing all my makeup, I didn't notice any like really significant difference in that I would kind of make this work, like applying it to a beauty blender or something. I just think that there are better primers out there. I wasn't in love with this. And lastly, from this E.L.F. line is their Aqua kind of bronzer duo. This is violet, or bronzed violet, sorry. And it's almost like this like putty-like consistency. And honestly, I liked the formula. When it applied well, it blended out well, but these colors are just way too dark for my skin tone. They still sat on the skin and looked a little clownish, even though they did blend out. It was too much. So I think if you have a darker skin tone, you might really like this. I think that the formula is really great, but the color is not so much for me. Next up are two different mascaras that I've been testing out for the last little while. One is the Revlon Mega Multiplier, and the other one is the Wet n Wild Lash Renegade Mascara. If I had to pick one that I liked the best, it would probably be the Wet n Wild one, but after wearing it a couple of times, I didn't find like I was getting the definition and the volume and the length that I was really hoping for. This one in particular was just very, I don't know, it wasn't as black as I was hoping. It definitely didn't give this whole like mega multiplier kind of effect. I just wasn't super impressed with it. This one was much better. It built a lot of volume. It was layerable, but again, I was just missing the volume on the like end of my lashes, which is something I really look for because I want big, bold lashes. So for me, I much prefer the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. I think that one's a phenomenal one. If you guys want to check out like a review I did when I compared it to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, click on the little cards. It's a really, really good mascara. It looks beautiful on the lashes, but these ones didn't really impress me. Next up is a new addition to this video. I didn't actually talk about it in the drugstore haul because I got it like 2 days after I had filmed it, so I wanted to test them out for you guys and talk about them today, but I didn't actually include them in the haul. And they are the L'Oreal Infallible Paints, the metallic ones. I've been playing around with them a little bit and I wanted to tell you guys which one was my favorite and what they look like and all that stuff. I actually took notes. Where are my notes? Notes. So first of all, Galactic Foil. This one was super sparkly. I did not like it at all. Like it's just, there's metallic, but then it has this undertone of sparkle. So anytime you moved, you didn't get that metallic foil, but you got the glimmer of sparkle, and I just like wasn't into it at all. And then there was Moonlust. It's a very light pink that has a metallic finish to it. It isn't gritty at all. It's very smooth. It looked really pretty on the lips. I loved that one. And lastly, Smoldering Eclipse, which is a dark, vampy, foiled look. It is definitely over the top for me, but I liked that there was no glitter that I noticed in it. It was a very smooth formula. It gave that really pretty metallic look without being too overdone. So yeah, if you want to play around with the metallics, these are pretty. The only one I wouldn't recommend was that Galactic one. Too sparkly. Now on to a highlight. This is from Essence and it is their Pure Nude Highlighter, and oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful highlight. I'm wearing it on my skin right now. I don't know if you guys can see it. I layered it with a little bit of a Fix Plus and sprayed that onto my brush that had the powder on it and put it on, and it just gives this beautiful wet look to the skin that's, oh, I love it. It is definitely on the more sheer end of things. It is buildable, but if you want something that's gonna go both ways, this is a really gorgeous one and super affordable. I love it. Next up is another product that I didn't include in the drugstore haul because I received it afterwards, but I did get enough time to kind of play around with it. One is by Rimmel. It's their Insta Flawless Perfecting Radiance Primer. I've played around with this probably 3 times now with different foundations on tops, different finishes, stuff like that. I think that it sits really nicely on the skin. I think that my skin looks really good. Like I have it on my skin right now and I think it works really beautifully. I don't really see the radiance aspect of it though. I was expecting it to give this beautiful sheen or glow to the skin in some way, and I just wasn't seeing that at all. I tried layering more on my skin, nothing. It's a good primer, but definitely not any radiance whatsoever. The second product, again from that whole Insta line, is their Conceal and Contour. It's this trio here, and it has a highlight, a concealer, and a contour. First of all, in terms of the formula, it is very light, it is serum-y, it's not too thick and cakey. When I was applying it to the skin, I would say definitely medium coverage. I was kind of putting it under my eyes and I wasn't super happy with the coverage, though it did a good job on like the rest of my face. I think the color match is a great one. This is, woo, apparently it's not very well constructed though. Did you see that? Just entirely came apart. So what I was trying to say before the product rudely broke on me is that the shade Light was a good trio for me. It was a nice like neutral undertone and nothing was too orange or anything. The highlight was like meh for me. I wasn't super enthralled with the amount of highlight it was adding, and clearly it was like falling apart on me, which isn't a great sign, so I would probably pass on this. And lastly from their like Insta line is the Duo Contour Stick. This is again in light, and it has a contour at one end and it has the highlight at the other end. Now, first of all, the contour part, I really liked it. It blended out super seamlessly. It wasn't too over the top. As you guys know, I don't do a lot of contour. I have it on my skin in like a very, very small amount today, and I really liked it. It blended out beautifully on the skin, and I loved the undertone. The highlight, again, the same thing with this trio. It just was basically like my skin tone, but like a little bit of a glowiness to it, and I wanted something that popped a little bit more. So I don't know, it depends on what you're looking for a highlight. If you want something that's going to be very much your skin tone and just adds a little bit of a sheen to it, then you might really like this. Or it could be used as like a base and then put a powder highlight on top, and it's just going to vamp it up a little bit more. So I don't know, it kind of depends on what you like. I don't really use these kind of contour sticks a lot myself personally, but the undertone I really liked and the formula I liked as well. And lastly, I want to talk about the Revlon Ultra HD Matte Metallic Lip Colors. I did not like these at all, and I tried to make them work. Not so much. They are not very pigmented. They are super streaky. The formula didn't feel great. You know what? I'm gonna put it on my lips. You guys need to see this. By the way, this is the Too Faced Melted Latex Liquefied Lipstick in the shade Rated R. Such a pretty coral shade. It's a little bit tacky, but like I'm gonna put up with it because I love the like really high gloss. It's really pretty. Now I had to take it off to show you how terrible this other lipstick is. So first on my lips, this is HD Gleam. Can you see anything? Because I cannot. It's very light and very smooth, but like I honestly don't see anything on my lips, which is a little bit unfortunate because I really like the smell of these. Let's try something a little bit crazier. Let's try this like blue color. So here is HD Glitz on my lips. It's super streaky. It's not really pigmented. It's only slightly metallic, which is fine. Not everyone wants a super glitzy metallic look, especially if you just want to play with it for more of like a night out or something like that. But the formula, it just wasn't there for me. Maybe it's like a topper with like a color underneath maybe, but like by itself, definitely not. And that's everything for this video, but stay tuned for Thursday's video because I'm gonna be talking about a lot of new drugstore launches. I'm doing another full face tutorial, testing out a whole bunch of new products. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. I didn't want to talk about it in this video and kind of spoil it, but there are a lot of products that are new launches there and that I was in love with. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Give this video a big thumbs up. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful week so far, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Love you girls. Mwah.